when it comes to playing multiplayer games locally, it's pretty simple. All you really need is the console, the game, and as many controllers as you have players. But what happens when you want to play a game that's on a handheld console? The Nintendo DS. It's a handheld console, which means the console itself is the controller. You can't plug in any more controllers to this, so you need as many DS's as you have players. But what about the game? Well, you can't share the game, so you're going to need as many copies of the game as you have players. Well, not always. DS Download Play. It was Nintendo's solution to only needing one copy of a game to play multiplayer locally on a DS. Now, there's still plenty of games out there that require every player to own their own copy of the game, but some games do not have this requirement and utilize DS Download Play.
It's simple. Every game has its own methods of getting DS Download Play started, but for Mario Kart DS, you just go to multiplayer and you make a room. You have a choice between making a room with only people that own the game, or making one that allows people to join using DS Download Play. Once the room is made and allows for DS Download Play people to join, those without the game will have to open up DS Download Play, which is on every DS, DSi, and even every 3DS model. Once open, they will select the game, and once everyone has joined, the host will start up the game, and Mario Kart DS will be downloaded to all DS systems using DS Download Play, and allow for everybody to play the game. This comes with some restrictions from time to time though. For Mario Kart DS, anyone using DS Download Play will only be able to play as a Shy Guy in the default cart. This is pretty interesting, as Shy Guy isn't even playable for those that own the game, and the Shy Guy will always be a different color. This is something we wouldn't have full control over until Mario Kart 8 on Wii U. The biggest restriction, however, is since only part of the game is sent over using DS Download Play, a handful of tracks aren't playable.
Regardless of the restrictions, this was still pretty cool to have. Only needing one person to own a game to play multiplayer with friends was amazing. Now, I know it's common and expected to only need one copy of a game to play a multiplayer local game on a console, but for a handheld, this was still pretty cool to have. Unless your name was Kirby Superstar Ultra DS Download Play.
The game is divided up into many smaller games, so the DS Download Play restriction is it only allows for the first game to be played, that being Spring Breeze. That totally makes sense, and I'm not saying anything bad about it. Until right now, when I'm going to say something bad about it. The player using DS Download Play doesn't get a screen. They can't see the game. They have to look over at the screen of the player who owns the game. The DS screen isn't tiny, however, it's not big enough to really share. If the DS was set up where both players could see it, sure, you could get away with it. But someone still has to use that DS to play the game.
It isn't the greatest. It works, it functions, it's bad. DS Download Play isn't the first of its kind. The Game Boy Advance had a very similar feature, and DS Download Play would continue into the 3DS, with a 3DS version of DS Download Play that would support 3DS games. But with the next Nintendo handheld being the Nintendo Switch, it's also a console. And I think the games just got to a point where they're just too big to send over to somebody who wants to play it with them for a multiplayer session. Now, there's no Switch Download Play, but a lot of companies try to keep the concept of DS Download Play alive by having free multiplayer-only versions that can only connect to somebody that already owns the game. It's cool to see that companies are still doing stuff like DS Download Play, but what made DS Download Play so convenient is if you had your DS, you had DS Download Play on standby at all times. But with these multiplayer-only free versions, you have to go your way and have them pre-downloaded prior, or download them when you're ready to play. you're not likely to leave every multiplayer free version available because why would you waste that storage space? Now, when it comes to the DS download play, yeah, it's still downloaded to the system, but it didn't really download because it would be sent from the host system to the DS download play system, and the second you were done playing, when you turn off the system, boom, the game's deleted. So you weren't really wasting any space. And like I said, if you don't have these free multiplayer versions already downloaded, you have to go onto the eShop, download it, wait for it to download, and finally have it booted up, you're good to go. And after all that, the convenience is just gone.